August is underway and the Sixers drama continues as today the newest Joel Embiid report has sent the fan base into oblivion. We will react to it all and talk about whether it could actually be the end. Also on the flip side, Tyrese Maxey sheds a little bit of positive light on the situation and the upcoming season as a whole. We'll break it all down and more. But welcome in to Philly Take with RB. Do me a favor, hit that noti bell. Don't miss any of the videos and leave a like at the end if you enjoy the content. Your boy is back, fresh, re-energized off of vacation. And look, I appreciate every single one of you that have stuck with us throughout another off season. I really appreciate the people that connect with me on other platforms as well, you know, Instagram, Twitter, etc. But come on, man, I'm on vacation. Every day I'm getting tagged on Twitter. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you know, I'm about to go make a breaking news video. Quentin Grimes signed or something big happened. And I keep getting Joel Embiid updates. I actually had a video published while I was gone about Joel Embiid and a new quote or report about him from Keith Pompey. And here we go. New report. There are significant concerns surrounding the long-term health of Joel Embiid's knee, while Paul George may miss the 2025 NBA preseason after suffering a knee injury in an offseason workout, according to Brett Siegel. Now, keep in mind, it is the dead point of the offseason. Take everything with a grain of salt, right? Brett Siegel has hit before, he has missed before. But at the end of the day, right, with everything we're hearing, with the way that Daryl Morey spoke in that last press conference, with his tone, with the new reports, we'll start with Paul George, right? He's not going to play in the preseason. They already said he needs to be reevaluated, the Sixers' favorite word leading up to training camp. He's probably not going to play that. Maybe he'll make an appearance, but I'm starting to get very concerned about Paul George's availability, right? They didn't tell anyone. He was walking around at Summer League, and then, oh, by the way, he had an arthroscopic knee surgery. Same thing as Joel Embiid. So let's talk about Joel Embiid, because Brett Siegel ended up putting an article out about this, and we'll get to that in a second. But he says that Joel Embiid's knee is in bad shape. He's likely to miss the start of training camp. And some around the league believe that the Sixers regret extending him. Embiid has struggled getting back on the court this offseason. There's a growing concern that he will not be ready for the start of training camp. The common word associated with Embiid and his health is that things are bad. Several rival teams in the East who spoke with Clutch Points confirmed mixed signals coming from the Sixers regarding Embiid's knee health. Wow, Sixers and mixed signals. Boy, that's never happened. With one executive stating that the Sixers are regretting their decision to extend the big man's contract in 2024. Now, let's just take a quick look at the Sixers cap table, okay? Joel Embiid, as we know, 4 years left, all right? This year, 55 mil, then 58, 62 and a half, and then a player option, which he'll accept if he's still here at $67 million. And then Paul George, who is on a similar timeline, his contract is up 1 year before that. So if we scroll over here, 1 year before that, 2027-28, he has a player option. So people always say, well, signing Paul George was the biggest mistake, and the Sixers should have known better, and they shouldn't have paid him a max contract. Maybe you're right, but this is the fatal mistake, okay? Everybody can say what they want and be short-sighted about Paul George. The fact of the matter is he had played a lot of games a year before. He was coming off a good season, and the Sixers fans were pushing for Daryl Morey to make a big splash signing. Why? Because the year before, the Sixers punted the season. Joel Embiid got hurt in January, right? He tore his meniscus. He comes back like 10 weeks later. He should not have returned. He did, and he played through injury, and the Sixers had a good series against the Knicks, and they lost. And then what happened after that? The Sixers then go into the offseason. Joel Embiid made a bad mistake playing in the Olympics, and then after openly admitting that he was playing hurt in that Knicks series and that he had to defer to Maxey and that he couldn't jump off one leg, the Sixers end up giving him a blind 3-year contract extension. And the Sixers do that after it was reported that they had consulted with many doctors who told the Sixers that Embiid's knee was in bad shape. And I will continue to go back to this clip from Sam Amick. who pretty much says the Sixers blindly gave Embiid the extension after consulting with 9 doctors, right? November 26, 2024, I sat here and said that this is a huge mistake if they knew his health was as bad as Sam Amick reported, and it is true. The Sixers should not have given him this money right here, because if you look at the timeline, yeah, I mean, things could have lined up pretty good right now with all the young guys, the young guards, right? Kind of advancing into that next stage. And now you're sitting here with 2 max players in a league that's constantly trying to trend away from having 3 stars at the top. And you have to pay these guys all this money and they are injury prone. So again, Paul George has not panned out so far, but that was not the biggest mistake because the fans were pushing for the team to do something. It was signing Joel Embiid blindly to a 3-year contract after they knew his knee was not recovering well. And I'm saying that as a Joel Embiid guy. I might be one of the only Embiid people left, but it's just common sense. It's business. And according to Mike Missinelli, the Sixers apparently had Joel Embiid shocked that they even gave him an extension. That was the newest thing that came out a few days ago from Mike Missinelli. And he and I have had some back and forth on Twitter before. But he says he's getting this info from a plugged-in source. So even Joel Embiid himself didn't think he was getting an offer. And then you have this offseason where that whole big article comes out, and you have the Sixers talking the way they are. It just doesn't sound good. It does not sound good at all. Now, if we look at this article and we read a few more quotes from Brett Siegel, he says, these surgeries and countless rehab efforts have taken a toll on Embiid mentally, which we saw in that article. Embiid deserves a lot of credit for battling through adversity. I agree with that. Drama, playing with stars that quit on him. The Sixers star has proven to be a fighter. He has remained motivated to get back on the court for his team. I don't doubt that at all. But as he says here, when you have a second surgery to attempt to fix the initial problem, and then you continue to deal with delays and more complications, that's never a good sign. Few players have been able to come back from multiple surgeries and injuries to the same part of their body, which is what Joel did. He should have never came back against the Knicks. He played hurt. He played amazing, and the team has just made bad decision after bad decision. And Joel should not have played in the Olympics. And last offseason, as we got closer to September and October, they kept being very vague. They didn't give us much. He didn't play in camp. He didn't play in the preseason. He didn't play in the opener. And it just drug out the whole season. And if the Sixers try to pull that same thing again, not only will they lose the few fans that are left plugged into this team right now, but they might have to sell the team because that is just terrible business overall. Everyone wants to see him back and 100% healthy as the league is better with all its stars on the court. The reality here is the damage has been done. None of us can get word on if it's actually repairable. And that has been the story with the 76ers. So that is where we are at. It is a very sad situation. I hope he comes back fully healthy and can dominate this year. But at this point, it's starting to feel just like it did last year. Now, on the flip side, Tyrese Maxey offers some positivity. He talked about Joel Embiid on a recent interview, and he says, quote, "This dude is special. I'm just blessed to be a part of some of the best moments of his career, and I can't wait to see him get back out there." What else do you expect Tyrese Maxey to say? He is a very upstanding young man. He's a great person. He's working as hard as he can. He's in the gym all summer. I don't expect Tyrese Maxey to come out here and say, well, Joel Embiid is kind of cooked, but we'll be fine. No, of course he's going to praise his teammate. The fact of the matter is I don't even think the players know what's going on because I don't think the hierarchy of this front office and organization even communicate with the coach or the players. Remember last year? Every game, Nick Nurse came out and said, look, I don't have any info for you. They haven't told me. They don't tell me what's going on. I just get updates from the trainers. So, I mean, again, it's just a very bad structure and there's just bad communication on all levels. That's how it's been, and it's tiring. Tyrese Maxey did talk about the Sixers season this upcoming year. He says, I do think it'll be a great bounce back year for us. It's not just going to be given to us, though. I think we'll have to work for it. Yeah, well, I agree. And you better set the standard from early on. If not, I could see this thing definitely tipping over very quick. And then at that point, heads will roll. It'll probably be Daryl Morey, Nick Nurse, and others. But yeah, I mean, you look at how this team is set up. Like I said, they're on 2 different timelines. It's almost like having insurance for the now and in the future. you know? Like they're drafting young guards. They're setting themselves up to potentially be good in a couple years, but also at the same time, you have 2 max stars and you've had this vision, and Daryl Morey signed all these guys thinking, hey, we're going to be really good and we're going to be at the top of the conference. And he keeps saying he believes in that 3-star model, but we still have not seen it at all. And we may never will, which is very, very frustrating. Last but not least, a former Sixer now, Ricky Council, is signing in the conference. He goes to the Brooklyn Nets, and he averaged 7.3 points, 2.9 rebounds in 73 games last year. Those numbers are probably a little bit better than they actually were based on the situation, the circumstances. A couple other Sixers, I think 3 of them now have signed overseas. It's surprising how the market is right now. It's very dried up. Quentin Grimes still hasn't signed. None of the other RFAs have. Who knows how it's going to play out? But what we do know is that the Sixers better come ready to play. And they better have a product ready for the fans. Otherwise, it's going to get even darker than last year. And I really hope that doesn't happen. I've had people, whether it's in real life or Twitter or Instagram, whatever, keep telling me, look, man, start talking about the future. Stop talking about the now. I'm still riding until the wheels fall off, but guess what? We're running out of gas. So you better hurry up, Sixers. Anyway, that's where we're at. Can't wait to dive into all of it. We are getting closer and closer to training camp. Give me your thoughts on Joel Embiid, Paul George, and the rest down below. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. As always, I will catch you on the next one. Peace.